Okay, so I'm going to quickly review conversions, and then I'm going to give you some notes on how to do metric conversions, which is kind of the same, but there's a cool little trick that would make it's going to make it 100 times easier. All right, so real quick, I rewrote this, the conversions. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. 1 mile is 1,760 yards. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 foot is 12 inches, and that's length. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 pint is 2 cups. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. That's capacity. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. And 1 pound, sorry, that's not 11. Let me make that a number 1. 1 pound equals 16 ounces, and that's weight. Okay, remember 16 ounces is 1 pound, but 8 fluid ounces is a cup. There's a difference. One is capacity, which is fluid, and one is weight, which is solid. Okay, so if you remember, just a quick little reminder, if you're converting from a big measurement to a small measurement, you're going to multiply. If you're converting from a small measurement to a big measurement, you're gonna divide. Okay, also remember that all of these on the left hand side are your big measurements, and all of these on this side are your small measurements. Okay, because it takes 12 inches to make 1 foot. It takes 8 ounces to make 1 cup. It takes 2,000 pounds to make 1 ton. Okay, so the numbers on the right are your small measurements. Okay, so you have to just decide, are you going from a big measurement to a small measurement, or a small measurement to a big measurement? Okay, I'm going to do a couple of examples, reminders, and then we're going to move on to metric conversions. So 36 feet equals blank inches. So I'm going to find feet and inches right here. 1 foot equals 12 inches. That means feet is the big measurement. So I'm going big to small. So we're going to multiply. Okay, and there are 12 inches in 1 foot, so we're going to multiply by 12. 36 times 12. So 36 times 12. I start with 2 times 6, and I get 12. Carry my 1. Then 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Tick, tack, O. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. And then we're going to add it up. 2, 6 plus 7 is 13. Carry my 1. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So 36 feet is 432 inches. Okay. 3 tons equals how many pounds? So we're going to find tons and pounds. Tons is big, pounds is small. So we're going big to small, which means we're going to multiply. There are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. Now remember, with this one, you don't have to multiply all the zeros. You're just going to multiply the 3 times the 2, which is 6, and then add 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay. All right. 10 cups equals how many pints? So that's capacity. There's cups and ounces. That's not what I need. Pints and cups, there's what I need. 1 pint equals 2 cups. So that means pint is the big measurement. So I'm going from cups to pints, so I'm going small to big, which means I'm going to divide. Okay, 1 pint equals 2 cups. So there's 2 cups in every pint, so I'm going to divide by 2. So 10 divided by 2. So you can ask 2 times what number can I put here is going to equal this 10? That would be 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, 18 feet equals blank yards. So we're going feet and yards. Well, that's feet and inches. There's yards and feet right there, feet and yards. Yards is big, feet is small. So we're going from a small to a big measurement. So we're going to divide. Okay, we notice that there are 3 feet in every yard, so we're going to divide by 3. Okay, 18 divided by 3. So you can say you can do 18 divided by 3, or you can say 3 times what number that I'm going to put here equals 18. That would be 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay. All right. 31 inches equals how many feet? Inches and feet. So here we are, feet and inches. So that means feet is big, inches is small. So we're going small to big. So we're going to divide. There are 12 inches in every foot. So we're going to divide by 12. So 31 divided by 12. So if you don't know your 12s, make you a tic-tac-toe chart. Remember, anytime you're, whatever you're dividing by, you can make a tic-tac-toe board to help you with your multiplication. 12 plus 10 is 22, plus 2 makes it 24, so I added 12. 24 plus 10 is 34, plus 2 makes it 36. Okay, I can stop there because I'm only looking for 31. So the closest I can get to 31 without going over is 24. So 12 times 2 is 24. And then we subtract. 1 minus 4 can't work. It would give us a negative number, so we have to borrow. 3 becomes 2. 1 becomes 11. Okay, 11 minus 4 is 7. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So that means I have 2 feet with 7 left over. So my answer is actually 2 feet with 7 inches left over. Okay, remember, anything that's left over, whatever your remainder is going to be the original measurement. Okay, so that's conversions. You should already have this in your journal. Hopefully you've been keeping up. If not, here it is. You need to jot it down because you'll need it for your assignment for today. Okay, so now I'm going to show you metric conversions. Okay, so you need to write this down in your journal. This is metric units. Okay, so we've got length, 1 kilometer or kilometer, however you want to say it. KM is the initials, equals 1,000 meters. 1 meter, which is an M, equals 100 centimeters, CM. 1 centimeter, which is CM, equals 10 millimeters, MM. Okay, you need to know the abbreviations. So kilometers is KM, meters is M, centimeters is CM. Okay, that's length. All right, because it ends with an M, it's meters. All right. Volume, which is the same as capacity. So this is your fluid. 1 liter, which is a capital L, equals 1,000 milliliters, which is a lowercase m, capital L. Okay. That's the only one you need for volume. And then you have mass. Okay. Mass is like weight. 1 kilogram, which is kg, equals 1,000 grams, G. 1 gram, which is G, equals 1,000 milligrams, mg. Okay, so you need to focus on the measurements, or not the measurements, yes, but the abbreviations. Okay, so you have kilometer, meter, centimeter, and these are length. Meter is length, okay? So when you think of meters, think of it's compared to a yardstick, okay? So that's what you would compare these to. So a kilometer would be compared to a mile. Meters is compared to a yardstick. Centimeters is, let me show you. Centimeters is about the length of the silver part of this pencil. That is about a centimeter, okay? A millimeter is about the thickness of a dime, and I don't have one on me, but it's teeny tiny. So a millimeter would be like one little piece of this pencil, this little silver part right here in between my fingers. Okay, so that would be a millimeter. Volume, liter, is like a 2-liter Coke. It has 2 liters. So if you buy one of those great big Cokes for your house, those are 2 liters. Look at it. It will tell you how many liters it is, and it will tell you how many milliliters. A lot of times you see milliliters is things like medicine. If you take any kind of liquid medicine or eye drops, stuff like that, it's measured in milliliters. Okay. Mass, which is weight. There's a kilo again, so it's kilograms. So gram is weight. Kilogram, gram, and then milligram. Okay? All right, so this is done the same way. You can do big to small, where you multiply, or small to big, where you divide. But you're dividing and multiplying by 1,100 or 10, right? 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So there's an easier way to work these, and this is what we're going to do right now. So this is what we call the Z chart. Okay, this is the metric conversions chart. And the reason we use this is because basically when you're converting metric units, all you're doing is moving the decimal. Okay, so watch how I fill this out. So this arrow is pointing to the left. This arrow is pointing to the right. All right, and then we have a saying. It's King Henry danced merrily, laughing gingerly. And notice I have all three of those on the biggest step. Down Central Main. Okay, so now I'm going to fill it in. So the K is kilo. Okay, so that's one you use. The H is hecta. We don't do a lot of hecta. You will see I will ask you some questions, but it's not one that is on this measurements chart. Deca, again, not one we use in 5th grade, but one you need to know where it goes. And that's Deca with an A. Notice these are all capital. The capital M here is meters. This one is liter. And this one is gram. So length, volume, weight. Okay? Meters, liters, grams. Every one of your problems will have either an M, an L, or a G at the end of it. Or it might have just an M, L, or G. That means it's this middle step. Okay, then we come down here at the bottom and we have deci with an I. Now, you can remember deca, deci. A comes before I in the alphabet. Okay, the D is a lowercase. Then we have centi. And then we have little baby milli. Okay, so think about these as being your smaller measurements and these being your bigger measurements. Okay, so watch how this works. When I am converting measurements from one to the next, I'm either going to go up. So if you move up, the decimal will go to the left. Okay, and I'm going to explain this in just a second, so don't stress. I just need you to write it down. Move up, the decimal moves to the left. If you move down, the decimal will move to the right. Okay, so that's the important part right now. You need to draw this on your paper, okay? Make sure you have these names next to it so you know. And again, I don't expect you to have it memorized right yet, but eventually you will. And you can come up with your own little saying. This is just something that we've come up with over the years. King Henry danced, merrily laughing gingerly, down Central Main. Okay, just to help you remember the order of the numbers, of the letters, sorry. And you need to know that you have the Z, there's 3, one big step, and then 3 more steps. Okay, so when you move up, you follow the arrow and it's going to the left. Move the decimal up to the left. If you're going down, follow the arrow, you're going to the right. So move down, the decimal moves to the right. Okay? So make sure you get that written down in your journal right quick, and we're going to go over it. Okay, so here's your metrics chart. If you need to make you a new one so you can draw on it, go for it real quick. Just make sure you have the letters, King Henry danced, merrily laughing gingerly, down Central Main. Okay, going up to the left, going down to the right. Okay, all right, so converting measurements in metrics is very, very, very super easy. Okay, so watch carefully. So let's say I have 4 liters, and I want to know how many milliliters that is. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the number 4. All right, when you look at the number 4, there's not a decimal, so we need to place one. On the number 4, if there is no decimal, or any number, if there's no decimal, it's understood to be at the end of the number, right? So you're going to take your number, 4 liters. So we're going to put the 4, and we're going to put the decimal behind it, okay? Now, we're going L to ML. So L is right here in the middle. So this is where we're starting. And we're going to ML, so we're going down here to the bottom. So if I take, and I start here, let me use my pencil. Oh, nope, sorry. I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to step down 1, 2, 3 steps. So I started at L, and I went down to ML. So I went down, which means I'm going to follow it, and I'm going to the right. So I'm going to take this decimal, and I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right, and I'm going to fill in these holes with zeros. So that 4 becomes 4,000. And then since the decimal is at the end, I don't need it. Pretty simple, huh? Okay, it's just moving the decimal. That's all you have to do. All right, what if I have, let's see, 24.3 millimeters, and I want to go to meters. If you have 2 M's, it means you're down here at the bottom, because these are the prefixes, okay? So these are your pre's. Those are your letters before. This is the suffix, right? So these are your before. This one can stand alone, all right? So MM equals M. So I'm going to start by writing my number, 24.3. I already have a decimal, so I don't add one. Okay, you can't add another decimal. All right, so I'm going from MM to M. So this would be MM, and I'm going up to this M. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. This time I started at the bottom, and I took 3 steps up, so I'm moving to the left. So I'm going to take this decimal, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So here's my decimal now. I'm going to fill in the hole with a 0. So 24 3/10 millimeters is 0.243 meters. Okay, now we only read to the 3rd place past the decimal. I'm not asking you to read it, I'm just asking you to write it. Okay, so you don't have to be able to say what that number is, you just have to know how to move the decimal and place it. Okay, all right, let's look at another one. What if I had 12 kiloliters, and I want to know how many liters that is. Okay, so if you looked at your conversion, you don't have a kiloliters, do we? Liters and milliliters. But you will see these questions, so you need to know how to do them. And it's going to be the same way. If I'm going kiloliters, K is at the top, so this would be KL. And I'm going to liters, which stands alone, so it's in the middle. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 steps. I went down, so if I'm going down, I'm moving to the right. So I'm going to take this 12, place the decimal behind it. Now I'm going to take that decimal and move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right and fill in the holes. So 12 kiloliters is 12,000 liters. Okay? I hope y'all understand that. I hope that's easy to understand. So what if I asked you, you've got 17 grams, and I want to know how many milligrams that is. Okay, so I want you to write down your number, place your decimal, and then move it on the number on the chart. Are you going from grams to milligrams? So are you going to go up or are you going to go down? All right, so 17 grams to milligrams, you should have put 17 decimal, right? And then you're going grams, which is by itself, to milligrams, which is down here. So you're going 1, 2, 3. We went down, so we're moving the decimal to the right. So you're going to take the decimal and move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right and fill in the holes. So 17 grams is 17,000 milligrams. And remember, anytime the decimal is at the end of the number, you don't need it. Okay, what if I have 350 centimeters and I want to know how many meters that is? Centimeters to meters. So I'm going to write 350 and place my decimal at the end because there's not one. We're going cm to m. So I'm going to find the C and I'm going to the m. Now, not this m. This is a pre, so we can't use this one. We're going to the big in the middle. So I'm going to take 1, 2 steps. I went up, so I'm going to the left. So I'm going to take this decimal and go 1, 2 places to the left. So 350 centimeters is 3 5/10 or 3 50 hundredths meters. Okay? What if I said 62 dg to g? Okay, so I'm going to put 62 decimal. Now, look at that D. That's a lowercase d. So I'm going from this D, not the top, okay? So the little d to the G. So I'm just taking one step, right? And I went up, so I'm going to the left. So I'm going to take that decimal and I'm going to take it one step to the left. So 62 decagrams. Sorry. This glass walked in my room and scared me. Is 6 2/10 grams. Okay? All right. So I'm going to give you an assignment to practice. Okay? Tomorrow we will go over it some more. Okay?